Oh, yeah, we got half of Australia here.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome, family, to our amazing wealth creation and leadership training. I'm Imolia Mo, and this is Hyson. We are co-hosting together. So, Hyson, can you speak about what we've learned last week?
Last week or this week? Just kidding. Hello everyone. As yours, for those who don't know me, I'm Hyson Sarvananthan, and a young entrepreneur coming up, a young influencer, a kingdom son, and yeah, that's what I like to do. So, for me, some of the things we learned last week, I'm gonna be sharing with you is I just gotta find the slide. Sorry, guys. Yeah, here it is. The one that really inspired me when Dad was talking about Kylian Mbappe. I'll read this to you again. He said, "We must always set the bar high, otherwise we do not progress. If the team needs you, you need to sacrifice. Like the great you. You want to make your own story, yourself, and not to be a copy of another. I'm happy and I am living the life as I always dreamed of. The power of positive mind thoughts." And I like that because he's living his dream, is what he does and is what he wants to do. And he said in football, everything is possible from the moment you work and believe in your quality, by Kylian Mbappe. And I love that. And the other thing that Dad pointed out that's important, he said the power of visualization. He pointed out the book of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So if you guys have got the book, or if you don't have the book, you can go I don't know, search it somewhere, maybe Amazon or anywhere. You can find it, or go to a library and you can get the book and read it. It's an amazing book that he shared out. And yeah, it was an amazing last week. Learned a lot. And also he shared about Nelson Mandela, which is inspired me as well. I got the slides, the power of thought. And yeah, I love that. So yeah, pass it back to Auntie M, and yeah, you can take us through. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hyson. That was an incredible testimony from last week. And also, can we put a 777 into the chat box for Hyson? He's been an amazing young leader who is an inspiration for many. Is Margaret on the line? Can we give it over to Margaret to be able to share a testimony on what she likes about this session, and also to see where this is going to go? Margaret, over to you.
Okay. Look, this has been this is just growing and growing and growing in intensity, this group, and the information that Rueben is imparting to us. When it first started, yeah, it was amazing when it first started, but now it just seems to be moving on to a new level. I wanted to say to Hyacinth that what you posted as an advertisement for the group with Rueben on the front, it was really, really great. And the music that you went along with it as well, it just was quite awe-inspiring, actually. Very, very, very exciting just to listen to it. So well done for that, Hyacinth. Is that what you're going? Is that going to go down Facebook and other
That was shared by
social media? Is that
I shared it, but I got it from
sorry?
I shared it, but I got it from the amazing M. She
Oh, so we
Yes,
put it together.
yes, she put everything
Okay.
together and it was amazing. I loved it too.
Well done, Em. Really great. Yeah, the music, everything about it, really professional. I think I've put a message in there already. You might have read it. It just, yeah, it really does describe exactly what the wealth creation group is about, and the time that people will spend in it, will be not wasted. It's We've been on this journey now for how long? Since the beginning of the year? That be right? January we started? Yeah. And there's been huge amounts of wonderful information that's been passed on. And, you know, for me, I think you've got to hear the same thing over and over again in different ways for it to actually sink in and finally start to have an impact. So I'm just hanging on there. I've just been hanging on because I've turned 65 this year. I've had a whole life of of negative thinking around money, which came from schooling, from the way we were brought up. Money was something to fear in a lot of ways, and you had to be very careful with it, and you had to treat it. Well, we had to treat it with respect, and you don't take any chances with it. So there's always been a bit of a love-hate relationship with it for me. Hard to really pin it down exactly how I've been around money. I've liked spending it, definitely like spending it, especially on shoes, as some people have noticed. But for me, yeah, doing this course has been a way for me to rethink me and how I'm going to be with it going forward. The new other ways to use money. It's not just about having the 9-to-5 job, which, you know, I plan to leave in the next couple of years. That won't be happening as I go into retirement. So I guess for me, this year has been a big thing because, you know, I took a big chance and invested money out of my superannuation, a large sum really. And some people might think that was a reckless thing to do. And I have grappled with it and thought, have I done a reckless thing? Have I taken too much of a chance? But I just felt it was the right thing to do after all the information was presented. And it is a startup company, and often startup companies don't work. So yes, it's been a big chance taken. But I believe it's the journey that I have to go on to take this chance and to believe that it is going to be the best decision I ever made. And that's what I hold on to. And certainly encouragement and influence from Rueben has been tantamount in all of that for me, because I could never have done this, I don't think, if I hadn't have been involved in a group that was willing to take chances financially. Many years ago in the 90s, I could have done that, and I pulled out because I didn't have the money. I was a single mother with 2 little boys trying to pay the mortgage and and keep everything rolling along, and I just didn't have the spare money to invest at that time. And I often look back and wished I had. And I feel as though this has been the second chance, the second opportunity to start thinking about money in a different way and using it differently, and having an opportunity to have money come back, passive money come back to me through investment. I think that's all I need to say. It's been a journey. It's been a very up and down roller coaster journey, as some of you know, and especially Rebecca. I even had another big meltdown on Saturday. I just started to lose it and think, what have I done? Should I be doing this? And I pulled out of that again. So it's all good. It's a growing process for me. One day I won't have second thoughts about it. That'll be exciting when that happens.
Amazing.
Mm.
ATM, another thing.
Yep.
I just remembered when Auntie Margaret said that. I remembered something our ambassador Papa Luke said. He said something to do with here's where we grow together, and he said we grow together, we change. No. He said
We grow
so
together.
help me. Yeah, I think he said something like that, and I feel like this is
We change together.
yeah, we changed the world together, and yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was
Come on, Beaky, you know it. Is
Change
it?
the world together.
sorry.
Yes, so as we know, it's we are family. Thank you, Margaret, for sharing your testimony and to be real with the wealth side of creation and also the leadership. So we stay together. Everyone want to say this? Let's see in the group chat.
Yeah.
Let's do that together. So here we go. Everyone all together. We stay together. We grow
Grew
together.
together.
And we
change
change
the
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 world.
world together.
That's right. So as we continue on our journey, like it says, we stay together, we grow together, and we change the world together. And also reminding of Hyson, how he has had the award of improvement. So what was it, Hyson?
Yeah, it was. I got the third place for the most improved player in our team, and that makes me feel amazing and awesome for all the hard work and the rest. And yeah, feels amazing.
I like how you just said, always be at rest, always in the rest of in what we do and whose we are and who we belong to. So I want to say thank you so much, family, for coming online. And anyone that is new, just pop in the group chat where you're from or whereabouts, what nation are you from? Whether if you're from Kenya, Myanmar, or anywhere else in Australia. I just want to appreciate you for coming on and taking the time out to receive this good message. So I want to pass it over to an amazing mentor of mine. His name is Rueben. He is an amazing leader, a dominant leader. He is also a provider, so he provides for his family as well, and he's also a supporter. But the one thing that I love is his wife. His wife always supports him no matter what situation or what trials or what challenges that they are going through. And it's a good time for now to be going on a journey with this wealth because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with our money or so we need answers to these to be able to help us to get through this. So Ruben, over to you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Em. What a blessing, guys. Can we just give Em a big triple eight? She's done such a great job. We always say new beginnings. I love triple eight because it's new beginnings. And wow, Margaret and Hyacinth, thank you. What a great conversation listening to this and how it's helped each one because, I can imagine how I think it's going to help someone, but seeing you guys also sharing how it has actually helped, great. Hyacinth, super appreciative of you taking the time not to just turn up but actually listen to the information and be able to say yeah this is what touched me, helped me from last week. Awesome. And Margaret, just hearing the journey and you're starting to be your own tribe in that sense, be your own leader. We're all leaders of ourselves first, right? So great to see people on. Aurelio, good to see you. Push that button to get in. Amazing. Wonderful. Good to see Ajita on today. Hey, Tony, good to see you on. Hopefully, mom's next to you. I know you guys are going to grab something amazing from today, and it's exciting to be here. It's October. Who's excited about October? If you're not, I am. But if you are, I want you to pop a triple O in the chat group that we're excited about October. Not 000, but triple O. Hyacinth, I can see that's a 000. Yeah. And we'll do capital O's. Nah, he's trying his best. I shouldn't play with him like that. Sorry, Hyacinth. Couldn't resist that one. Guys, let's get started. I hope you got pens, paper, things to write on, or digital, some sort of digital note taker. Some really good topics we've been covering, and we want to keep doing that. Let me just share my screen. And let me know if you guys can see that once I press play. Wonderful. Are we seeing one screen? Give me a thumbs up if you are. I can see you guys. Beautiful. So, guys, welcome to, as we said, wealth creation and leadership. And it's a mindset. Okay. So, all about wealth creation and leadership is about mindset. The biggest problem we have is our mind. And when we change our mind, things change in our life. Make sense? All right. So, when we change our mind, if we don't, no matter how good you are, you'll be hindered. No matter how talented you are, no matter what opportunities come, it will hinder you if you don't know how to work with what your mind is, because our minds will start and limit us as well. We're doing a series on imagination, and this part of the series is the next step from freedom, not to freedom. But it's really important that we understand that we are already in freedom. Our mind just has to get to that point of understanding it. And once it does, we move in freedom. And that especially includes our wealth, but includes every part of our life. I love this picture as Hyacinth was talking and Margaret was talking about, finding the right group to run with. Guys, find your tribe. I always say fly with the eagle, hunt with the lions, find your tribe. Find that place where you can feel like it's not that everything's going to be great when I find my tribe. It's that when I find my tribe, I have the ability to dream bigger, imagine further, go harder, because I've got someone watching my back, someone behind me, in front of me, next to me, and that is very powerful. So if you haven't already, find it. And yes, Hyacinth, I like what you reminded us of what Papa Luke says. We are a family that stays together, grows together, and changes the world together. Awesome. So last week we talked about the power of thought, and for anyone who missed out on that, please get the recording. And we talked about how thought is a very powerful. It can either be constructive or destructive, and the power of your thoughts, how you handle them, are very important. And Hyacinth gave us a bit of a summary from that. We've been talking through these 5 questions that I started a couple of weeks ago, and we looked at question number 1: what would happen if you inherited $10 million. Now, today I want to look at, and we'll see how we go with time, on if you had 6 months to live, what would you do with your remaining time on Earth? Okay. Now, what I want you to do is I'm going to do a little bit of some slides on the power of imagination. So we've talked about the power of thought. I want to talk about the power of imagination, because this slide here and this question, you could answer it as you go along. I want you to imagine what the answer is. It's not to do with money. Okay, the previous question was to do with money, and we broke it down into a lot of, what were examples of what would I do, what would it look like, how much would I use in each situation. I'm just going to try and find my slide here. Yep, it's over here. So we broke it down into this sort of information when we did question 1. And again, if you missed out on this, just get the recording, get the slides, and do the exercise, right? So this is the question we did last week, and we broke it down into monetary understanding, which is really helpful, about personal giving beyond yourself, about personal enjoyment, personal debt and assets, and legacy assets. Okay. What I'm going to do today, and what I want you guys to do today, is think about the question, which is to do with, and this is why I want to talk about imagination, is what would you do if you had 6 months to live, and what would you do with your remaining time on Earth? Now, you still have health. Okay. You've got everything going well, but you just got 6 months to live, and you're aware of it. Okay. What would you do with it? And I want you to use the power of imagination, jot down some ideas and thoughts as I talk about the power of imagination. Now, this is powerful, guys. As I was preparing this, I was getting excited about this, the power of imagination. First of all, I want you to, put in the chat group at 111 if you believe this. The power of imagination makes us infinite. And I want to see how many of you are participating. Remember, this is based on participation. Participation is really important, because as we participate, we are saying, I am actually fully connected here for this hour to connect. And the more I connect, the more I will hear. The more I hear, the more I'll learn. The more I learn, the more I become, right? The power of imagination makes us infinite. Okay. And that's a powerful thought, because we have often been told that we're finite beings. At some point in time, our life ends. What if that's not the case? And what if we can keep on, and what we do, whether it's, for some of us, like myself, I believe I can continue to live in this physical body forever because of what God has done for me to transform me, but my mind is still working up to that. My body's still working up. For some of us, it might be when death comes, what's the legacy that I will leave on, which is an infinite change and something that will make a difference to others. For some of you, you weren't given a legacy from your generations before you. What will you leave on to the generations after you? Okay. And for different people, it's different things, but we're definitely infinite. The power of imagination is a profound and transformative force. It allows individuals to create, innovate, and envision possibilities beyond the present reality. And we're going to talk about some key aspects of its power. The power of imagination, okay? It's profound and a transformative force. And so what we're trying to do today is, as you answer this question, if I had 6 months to live, what would I do? And I want you to jot down as you're listening, start to hear this. As Margaret said, we've started this in January. Some of you came in after, some of you been here since. No matter where you came in from, you haven't missed out on anything because it's the right time. Okay. And it's so great to see young people, old people. Like I said, I believe it doesn't matter what age and what stage you are in life, you will benefit because it is like a big chunk of meat being thrown out there every single week. And you just take what you need for that moment and consume it. All right. So let's look at some keys. There's 7 keys I want to look at today. The first key is innovation and creativity, the power of imagination. Here's the first thing: innovation and creativity. Imagination fuels creativity by enabling people to think outside the box. It helps inventors, artists, and scientists conceptualize novel ideas and solutions that don't yet exist. Okay. Now, I want to give you some examples, and then I want you to think about, is this resonating with you as part of your imagination? Walt Disney imagined a world of fantastical characters and stories, creating an entertainment empire that brought magic to millions. Okay, are you one of those that imagine innovative and creative things? And I know some of you have been talking about it in the group, have been talking to me about it. Some of you might have ideas that you haven't thought about speaking it out, but maybe too afraid to, thinking this is too crazy an idea. But I want to tell you, in history, we've got people who have thought it through. Thomas Edison imagined a world where darkness could be banished with a flick of a switch, leading to the invention of the electric light bulb. All right. Now, I was doing some study on Thomas Edison, and man, he didn't just invent the light bulb. Now, this is imagination, this innovation, creativity. Remember, there's 7 aspects I want to share with you on today. I want to talk a little bit more on Thomas Edison, though, for just a moment. He said this is very important. I haven't failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Okay, because he took 10,000 failures, on 10,000 minus 1 failures before he invented the light bulb. But he just said, I haven't failed, right? Why? The power of imagination. Now, when Margaret said about even financially, she said, I've been given a second chance. What's the second chance going to entail? Is it going to entail just putting something in once and all of a sudden everything's going to be successful? Or is it going to be entailing a whole lot of small steps in the second chance where you take information, you simulate information, you begin to invest, check how it's working, jump in again, jump out. Some will be failures, some will be successes, some will be failures, success for a certain time, and then you learn how to jump out at the right time, etc. Like the bull market that's coming with the crypto. For those in jumping in, we know that it's buying in is great. There's a time to buy out, right? In any business, startups, there's going to be humps along the way. How do we pass through those? Businesses that are matured, you won't get as big a return, but those are, they're going to be there for the long haul. How do you work through all of that? Having assets, how do you work through the asset side of things? Okay, you guys getting that? But this part got me about Thomas Edison. I never knew this, and I don't know if anyone else did or not. And if you did, put in the chat group. He said this: the doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will instruct his patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. Now, guys, he said that in 1903. He imagined, we haven't seen it happen yet, right? He imagined this. But in 2010, a doctor called Dr. Eric Plasker, who I don't know him, and I'm going to study more about him, said this: the doctor of the present will give no medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of dis-ease, and be present. Wow. I don't know if you're getting this, but I am so excited about this because what is it saying? Someone in the 19th century, over 120 years ago, imagined something of the future. Someone took that and in 2010, which is about 14 years ago, re-echoed it. Maybe he knew about it or didn't know about Thomas Edison. I didn't know about what Thomas Edison said till just today. The power of innovation, of our imagination through innovation and things to come is very powerful. And I want you to think about that. If you had 6 months to live, what would you pen down? And don't restrict yourself. What would you do that you had thought about all your life? I need to get this done. What are those things? I want you to write them down, no matter how crazy they sound, or how small they sound, or how big they sound. And remember, you're not sick with cancer or anything like that. You've got good health. Your mind is in total order. Okay. Number 2, the power of imagination. Remember, I said 6 keys. Power of imagination, the problem solving. When faced with challenges, imagination enables us to see different perspectives and develop unique approaches to overcome obstacles. It expands our capacity to think of possibilities beyond the conventional. So the power of imagination is very good when we have problem solving. Now, it can work negatively as well, right? Like we looked at the power of thought last week and said it can be destructive when you have a problem and you start to think of all the things that can go wrong. Okay, because that's how we've been brought up in the cultures, in the education systems, in the governmental systems, in the television influence, in the media. Do you know that media sells best when it has bad news in it, right? And we brought up to think negative thoughts. What if we think positive thoughts? I'll give you 2 examples. You all know this amazing guy, Elon Musk. Elon Musk imagined reusable rockets as a solution to the high cost of space travel, leading to the developments of SpaceX's Falcon rockets in revolutionizing space exploration. It's amazing. Like he's literally cut down the costs of traveling to space because, it's all our tax money, or at least the US and any other country that's doing space travel, into the use of reusable rockets, right? He imagined that and it's starting to take place. During COVID-19, the pandemic, teachers imagined virtual classrooms as a solution to continue education, leading to the widespread adoption of digital learning platforms. Like the fact that we can jump on today on Zoom accelerated through the COVID time. How many of you would agree with that, right? But it was because a lot of it, one part of that was attributed to teachers that said, we're not going to stop teaching our students and stopping them from learning. We're going to find a way and we'll do it virtually. Okay. The power of imagination. That's number 2. Okay. I want to look at number 3. Remember, there's 7 I want to talk about today of the power of imagination. I want you to think about, I'm just giving you some ideas to just open up your mind to think about, oh yeah, I resonate with that, and then get an idea from that. Visualization of goals, the power of imagining, visualizing goals. Imagination is crucial in visualizing and pursuing goals. By picturing a desired outcome in detail, we can motivate ourselves to work towards it, make it more likely to become reality. Yeah, I love when Hyacinth says, I want to be the best soccer player in the world. Now, being his dad and seeing him every day, I can tell you that, he took a month off soccer and then he wrote a plan and he said, October, I'm starting. And, he was sleeping in past me, and I sleep in a little bit because I sleep late. Today I woke up, he was already up. And I was proud of you, Hyacinth. We got delayed to go to the gym, and he said, I'm going on my own because I need time to come back, eat my meal, finish my studies, etc. Wow. Why? Because he's imagining what everything needs to look like for him to be the best soccer player in the world. Now, you might say, oh, he's young, he's got time. Guys, it doesn't matter when you start. It's not how quickly we start, it's how much we finish while we're here. And we want to enjoy the journey. Yeah? So I can't wait to hear what Tony's got in mind, what Ajita's got in mind, what Joseph has got in mind, Tesfa, Yuri. What are the thoughts you guys have? Write them down on the chat group. Okay? How many of you love this guy, right? Michael Jordan, the basketball legend, imagined, he didn't just practice, he imagined himself making game-winning shots before they happened. This kind of visualization helped him to train his mind to succeed under pressure. And I suggest if any of you are athletes, go check out Michael Jordan, work out how that imagination has made such a big difference. And it is so powerful. J.K. Rowling envisioned the entire magical world of Harry Potter long before it was written, guiding her creative process and ultimately leading to a hugely successful book series. Now, before every Monday, when I spend time to organize the slides, I organize the slides on Monday, but I've been imagining what's going to happen through the week. Because I found, so I don't know if anyone in school waited till the last minute to do their assignments. I was a last minute guy, and I used to feel bad about it because I was told that that's ridiculous, it's terrible, you shouldn't do it. You won't get the best. You're procrastinating and all that. What I found through all of this was that my visualization was very strong, and when I would read the question earlier. So when I went through my master's, I've gone through several other degrees and qualifications as an adult. And what I would do is I would look at the question, I'd visualize it, and I'd start to imagine the answer in my mind. And I spend 70 to 80% of my time imagining what's going to be the answers to the questions or the answers to the assignments. And then I'll spend 20 to 30% writing it down. And I found that was far more effective than me sitting in front of a computer trying to research and get the answers. Make sense? Some of you might be like that. So don't be upset if you're a last minute person. Before we have meetings and including home church, or if I go to speak somewhere, I would imagine what the outcomes would be before I prepare. And I don't spend as much time preparing the way someone might see me. I remember being in India, and we're going to be going again in October this month, which is exciting. But I remember being in India a few years ago and being in a community where it was a church community that called me to come, and they were. I was sleeping in this young man's room. Interestingly enough, it's the same person we're going to go to, Ross, and visit again. And I was sleeping in the room, and it was very hot. It was about 45 degrees heat. They had the fan on. They had a mattress that was covered with polythene because it's just been bought newly. So I was sleeping on a polythene, so it made it extra hot. And every now and again, when I would open my eyes, I'd see them sitting outside just watching, looking in and just seeing what I was doing. And anyway, I just carried on. And after about 4 days, I was there for, about 3, 4 days. So about the second or third day, they said to me, very curious, we don't see you praying or reading the Bible. You just rest. And then you go to the meetings and we see big miracles taking place. Why is that? I said, well, everything's happening in my mind. Everything's happening in my imagination, because I know I spent 10 years just reading and consuming the Bible, and the scriptures are in me. And I just look through, reiterate them in my mind, and I spend time in my imagination, and I see the results in a greater way. Okay. I'm not telling everyone to do that, but I'm just saying that I found this particular principle worked really well for me. Right in the chat group, what's worked well for you guys? The fourth one, so there's 7, empathy and understanding, the power of imagination, empathy and understanding. Imagination also allows us to step into others' shoes, fostering empathy. This is very important. By imagining the experiences, thoughts, and emotions of others, we become more compassionate and understanding. One of the things I remember of one of my favorite, or the most important hero, mentor in my life, Jesus, was that he never felt sorry for anyone. He had compassion for them, but he never felt sorry for them. And I think, Margaret, we were discussing that with you, me, and Rubika today. Never feel sorry for someone, because you empower their weakness or their struggle or their situation. But instead, if you have compassion for them, it's a powerful imagination, because you begin to empathize with them, not just sympathize with them, and you begin to walk in other people's shoes. And that is a powerful place to feel connected and to produce solutions. Anyone read or heard this book, To Kill a Mockingbird? Powerful book. Amazing. In school, we read that. I see Tony nodding his head. You guys still read that today? Amazing. I love this book. Authors like Harper Lee used imagination to convey empathy in their works. In To Kill a Mockingbird, Lee imagined the injustices faced by marginalized individuals, encouraging readers to see the world through their eyes. If you haven't ever read this, or I mean, the book's better than the movie, but if you haven't read this, read it. And if not, get the movie. Role-playing exercises in training programs, such as those for healthcare workers, require participants to imagine themselves in the place of patients, helping them become more compassionate caregivers. That's powerful, guys. That's powerful. Okay, so in the power of imagination, can you see how in different areas it can work? Okay, can you see how you might have been imagining outcomes and situations and not realizing it? I was at the gym today with my wife, and I was doing a warm up, and I was realizing something for the first time. I will never, I mean, I knew I was not doing this properly, but I didn't know why. And I realized it today because of this very thing. I wasn't fully, I wouldn't do my stretches fully in certain type of stretches that looked a bit complicated. I wouldn't do my push-ups. I wouldn't go all the way down and bend my elbows all the way down. You want to know why? Because I felt like when I was stretching, I was doing this body movement where I was twisting my whole body and putting my hand under my other arm to stretch my back. And I realized today, the power of my imagination, I kept thinking I was going to injure myself, even though I'm warming up. Right? So when you become aware of your imagination, the power of imagination now takes over and it does something very powerful. But it can also be destructive. Does that make sense? And we want it to be constructive. That's important. Okay. So hope that helps some of you guys to think about if you had 6 months to live, you might grab something from your imagination that's empathetic and understanding that you want to create a solution for. Okay. And I want you to think about that because this is all relating to your purpose as well. Okay, Hiromi, we talked about, what's your purpose? What do I have my calling? This will all relate to that as well. It helps us on this journey. Number 5, emotional resilience. This one is a powerful one. I know this one's helped me immensely when I went through my bullying days back in the day. Imagination provides an escape during difficult times, allowing us to envision a better future or immerse ourselves in comforting thoughts. It can help alleviate stress and provide a mental refuge. During times of adversity, Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, used imagination to mentally escape his grim surroundings by imagining a future in which he would be reunited with loved ones and lecture about his experiences. And it came to pass. Okay. But he detached himself from the terrible atrocities that were going on in his life. And he was being put through. He says, everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own ways. Okay, that's very powerful, guys. Resilience, emotional resilience is another power of our imagination. Okay. Children often use imaginative play to cope with difficult emotions, such as creating fantasy worlds where they can feel empowered in ways they cannot in real life. I used to have imaginary friends. Does anyone have imaginary friends? I had imaginary friends. It was amazing. Now, I didn't do it to cope with difficult emotions, but it was part of this imagination of and it helped me with my resilience. It also helped me begin to imagine into other worlds that I believe allowed me to open the door into the spiritual world as well. And so I don't know if anyone else did. If you had imaginary friends, let me know in the chat group as well. I'll read it after. All right. Next, number 6, we've got 2 more to go. Learning and exploration. Imagination enhances learning by making abstract concepts more relatable. It allows us to explore new ideas mentally before applying them in real-world situations, which can make the learning process more engaging and effective. Did you know that Albert Einstein imagined riding alongside a beam of light, which eventually led to the development of his theory of relativity? This kind of mental exploration was critical to advancing modern physics. He imagined it first, guys. Okay, he imagined that whole idea, traveling through space in a beam of light at the speed of light. All right. In education, using imagination to picture atoms as tiny solar systems has helped countless students understand complex concepts in chemistry and physics more easily. Again, how does this relate to the question I've asked about if you had 6 months to live, what would you do? Well, you might choose to, you might have been exploring an idea or a thought, like I am, about the fact that we could live forever. We can look younger. At the age of 100, I'd look like 30. How do I reverse my body getting older to getting younger? So if I had 6 months to live, I'd be manifesting that more. I'd be imagining that more. I'd be recognizing that more and thinking about how can I see that come to pass. I have imagined the whole world coming to the ability of the movement that we have in P61 of learning about their identity and who they are. I'm imagining right now the idea of what we're going to grow into. And I love what Margaret said, and I take it and go, yes, we're growing into a very exciting group. We're building up. We've changed a lot. If you look at the videos from when we first started in January to now, huge amount of change, upgrades taking place. All right. How exciting is that? Finally, number 7, driving change. Every significant change in history began with an idea that someone imagined. The ability to picture a better world drives innovation, social progress, and positive transformation in society. Martin Luther King Jr. imagined a world where people were judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin, and this vision became the backbone of the civil rights movement in America. Mahatma Gandhi's vision of non-violent resistance. Gandhi imagined a path to independence for India that did not involve violence, which is a radical idea at the time. Now, I'm imagining 200 people here by December because that's what Tim said when he came in. You guys remember that? And how are we going to do that? Well, if each of us just even invite 3 people to come the next week, we'll grow 3 times. Okay? From 15, we'll have how many? 45 people on. And we keep doing that and we'll keep growing to 200. Now, last week we had about nearly 25 plus people on, 25 connections. Some of us have 2 people on, some have more than one. So we had probably close to 30 people last week. Today we have close to about 17, 18 people. Now, is it possible to do? Yes. Why would we want to do it? Well, if the information is good for you, it should be good for others that you care about. That you go, hey, I want you to come listen to this. Something in this is going to help you. I love that Hyacinth, invited his friends to come along as well. I love that some of you are inviting others to come. I love that Aurelio has been, the home church has encouraged and got along with him and said, hey, you got to jump in. I don't know how to do it. Here, push this button, right? That's beautiful. Okay. Great to see Patrick on. I just can't wait to see what God's doing with Patrick in the imagination sector. It's going to be really powerful. So, guys, that power of imagination leads us to this question. And I want us to take just a few minutes to see if you can answer this. And that question is, if you had 6 months to live, what would you do with your remaining time on earth? Now, I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to answer this question. And then we'll come back and do this little discussion before we finish off. Why is this a powerful question? It's going to lead you more towards understanding your calling, your purpose, get really clear on where you're heading. And that's important because no matter what part of your journey, if you're going through struggles at school, or you're going to struggles at the family, or you're going to struggles at with finances or with work or with whatever situation, you coming back to this answer to this question will immensely help you. So get your paper and pen, start to write down what your thoughts are. There's no right or wrong. You can change it anytime. But just begin to imagine. Some of you might want to take a few minutes before of the 5 minutes and go, I'm just going to close my eyes and I'm going to imagine this world and I'm going to write it down. Why do you want to write down what we've imagined? Because without writing it down, we miss it because we're living in a world that is so fast-paced that what we've learned today we'll forget tomorrow. Like I asked you 2 weeks ago to go through these questions and meditate on them. And I knew it was hard that none of you would do it, right? So then we go through it every Monday. But I still encourage you go through those 5 questions because they're really powerful and they're very meaningful. So let's go 4 more minutes. Got about 30 seconds left. Awesome. Well, this is great meditative music. I would suggest if you want, grab, put this on Spotify, find some music like this. This is Instrumental Worship 2024. But yeah, find something that you can pop on and really encourage you on just imagining, okay? Because I want you guys to spend that time imagining things. Even for most of us here, or pretty much all of us here, are faith-based, and I would say Jesus imagined, right? Before we were created, he said, "Let us make man in our own image." They imagined it, and we were created. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, that practices of that dance, we were brought forth. So everything that's been done, he says, even for us, it's more than we could ask or even imagine.
Yeah,
How that works within us. So, guys, let me just give a few people some time. And I know a couple of you have to leave early because we've got another meeting to go to. So if you guys want to go first, you're welcome to. What are some things you would do if you had 6 months to live? What would you remain time on earth? Who would like to share?
I'll go first then, Rueben. Yeah.
Okay, Ross.
Number one, make sure the will is correct.
I like that. Very practical.
Then get the kingdom songs out there. And spend a lot of time with Aromi, holidays, and quiet times with the three of us, which is, of course, God, Aromi, and myself, and Mum. Tell as many people as I can that I'm not afraid to die. And I just didn't expect to leave Earth this early. Wow. Tell them about purpose and about kingdom.
Amazing. I love that. So here's the question, guys. I hope you heard what Ross said. Can we give him a 333 for that amazing answer as he started off? Here's the thing I want you guys to understand. Here's my question. If all the stuff you have said, why can't you start doing it straight away? And that's the thing I always ask people, because that is our purpose. This is leading us to our purpose. And it was very powerful what you said, spending time with the family. Those are important to you. Going and telling people, I'm not afraid to die. Didn't expect to leave the earth like this. Talking about identity, kingdom, like getting the songs out. What's slowing us down sometimes is just us not finding that that's the purpose. Because when we live our purpose in those 6 months, literally exciting things happen. All right, Hiromi, you want to go next?
No, I'm not quite sure yet.
Okay, that's okay. We're going to keep working on it. M&M, I know you guys have to leave in 2 minutes. And you guys want to throw in something before? And then Hyacinth said he wanted to share as well.
Yes, I would like to share.
Okay, go for it.
I would like to be able to teach the young generations their purpose and their calling upon their lives before in who they are and whose they are, and knowing their identity, but also to travel around the world with family as kingdom family as well, to travel around the world and to just reach as many nations to come to Jesus, but to know that they are worthy and to know their truth in their calling and the purpose, be in right standing with our faith, but just to love on them, and also to have a beach party. Thank you.
I love it. So I could see you traveling around the world, teaching young people as you traveled. And maybe that is your purpose. And having beach parties as you go around the world, finding, because there are beaches in lots of places of the world. And what if you only traveled, if you made a decision to say once a year, I'm going to travel somewhere. And then once you get that gist of once a year, what if I do it twice a year? What if I do it 3 times a year? Right? Because we've got to start somewhere and test it out and say, if I had 6 months to live and that's what came to my mind, that's what came from my inner being, then let me test it out by doing it today. And when I say today, not like right now, but what is that? Give yourself a time frame and say, sometime this year, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to teach people in some place where I travel and have a beach party as well. What a blessing. Love it. Thank you. Kem, did you have something you want to add to, contribute? Do you have time?
Not much, those. I just want to also just to spending time with family and teach them the knowledge and the principle of how you doing with us right now, the calling and the purpose that God has planned for us. And yeah, I want to teach them. I want to not just my family, but also friends and surroundings as well. And also, yeah, traveling with them, traveling with them. And the last one on my list is to give away everything that I had.
Wow. Amazing. Beautiful. So they're living a life of just, everything. I hold on to nothing. And that's a great purpose to hold on to, because that's how we build wealth as well, guys. When we don't have an attachment to it, we can build it because we become good stewards of it, right? And we don't waste it, but we're doing it with purpose as we give, as we travel. Teaching. Kem, I really want to think about in the next month or two, I want you to start even sharing some points, teaching points. So a little bit different from just a testimony, even on our wealth creation group. So think about that next couple of weeks, maybe even next week if you're ready. Just Em will invite you in, and then you can just share, a few teaching points of here's something I would pass down to my generations. And that's something we tend to, guys, think about all the time, is what would I pass down that will keep the legacy going, right? Doesn't matter what age you are, because you only have 6 months to live, remember? All right, Hyacinth, you want to go next? And then anyone else want to have a go after this? It's powerful when we hear one another as well. Remember, we're encouraging others. We are being accountable to one another. And when we feel down, we can remind each other and say, hey, remember what you said you would do if you had 6 months to live. Right? When we get distracted, you go, hey, remember what you were going to do, Hyacinth, you want to go next?
Yeah. For me, if I had 6 months to live, first thing, if I had all the money and I was that intelligent enough to actually do everything by myself, I would travel back to Kenya and spend 2 months with friends and family. And then after that, I will come back to Australia and probably spend another 2 months with friends and family here, and love on them and do all of that. And then for the remaining 2 months, I would travel around the world, influence and inspire people, and I would write down my when someone dies, you have your own book that you've written your things. I would just write down my Heavenly Father has called me to actually stay with him now. And there's no need to be sad, because you should be happy that I am actually going to spend some time with my Heavenly Father. And he's called me, my time has come, and I'm super excited. And yeah, and to be glad that I actually spent time with you guys, and I had lots of fun, and I loved the new guys. And yeah, that's what I would do if I had 6 months to live.
Amazing. I love that. What a blessing. See, we talked about yesterday, you had this wisdom on you, huh? And I love what you've said. Beautiful. Thank you, Hyacinth. Who else? Tony, love to hear from you, bro. Welcome. Did you enjoy today? Yeah, you want to unmute and say hi? Oh, come on, really? You showed us your beautiful face. So that was a great move. Everyone give a 777 to Tony. He's done such an amazing job showing up, and I love the fact that he's there. I love Aurelio's 787878. Tony, can you see Aurelio's 78 is on the screen? Do it again. There you go. Beautiful. Patrick, anything you want to add to that question that we were asking? If you had 6 months to live, what would you do with your remaining time on Earth? And my question to you guys is, why can't we do it now? Because we've been caught up with distractions. None of you said you continue doing what you're doing right now. So far, none of you said that, right? So why are we doing what we're doing right now? Makes sense? Patrick, and then we'll have Aurelio. Patrick, you want to say something, bro?
For me, if I had 6 months, I'll just go back to my country, spend time with my family, my friends.
Right.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, teach them what I know. Because I've always wanted, like, let's say, to build a college or a school, something like that. I can do that.
Wow.
Uh,
I love that. Are you guys getting the theme that's running through all of this? Passing on, teaching, passing on that wisdom, passing on the experience, passing on. What's so exciting about it for me is that you feel like I have something to pass on. And that's part of our calling. Thank you, Patrick. That's powerful. Aurelia, you wanted to add something, bro?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hallelujah. I pressed the button, Margaret.
You've overcome technology. Well done.
That's right. That's right. Hey, I think this is awesome.
Laughing at you, by the way. Just letting you know.
Pardon me?
Just letting you know that Tony was laughing at you.
I know. I saw that.
Your screen. Tony, don't worry. He's far away from you. He can't touch you until he sees you.
It's good to see you on, Tony, because this was a big one for me right now, and I'm glad you get to hear it, because this dream that I've been talking about, it's been in me for quite a few years. And one of the dreams was that when I don't know if it's a dream, but like when people come to the Ojibwe people, at least in America, they have this pity on us, saying, we're so sorry, we're so sorry. And I'm telling you, why are you sorry? What have you done to my people? It wasn't you as a young person that affected me. So what I'm telling people, like today, I went into JB Hi-Fi and I met this boy. He's in the theater, and he was starting to go down that route to, I'm sorry. I said, don't be sorry. What we need on our side right now is allies. And we need allies to be strong, to stand up for their culture, which is the white culture. I said, stand up and be strong. And it was more to it, but this has always been in me, so as I'm traveling, if I see somebody, I'll speak it out to them and say, hey, we need you as an ally, as a friend, and walk with us hand in hand. We don't need to be apart like this. Connect, grab with each other, so that's kind of where, I'm living this out now. I'm living this out, so it happened today. So I'm glad you said it, something about this realm. Are you doing this today? So yes.
Love it. Awesome. Wow. When you were talking, it was, it had a huge resonance around it. And what I saw was this picture here that I just have to share, that this picture here of the eagle and the lion.
Yes.
It would just stood out that you are changing. You're changing from people feeling sorry around your people to this excitement of who and what we bring. And I love that. Thank you, bro.
Amen.
Exciting. Anyone else want to share before we finish? And sharing is powerful because it also gives you that opportunity to learn to be accountable, and a reminder of hello, Joseph, and hello, young friend. Who's that next to you, Joseph?
Hey, hi, Zayden, to everyone. Okay. I would actually make a difference by impacting some, either boy or girl, just impacting their life, teaching them what I've learned and making sure that they follow their dreams, do what they want to do. I mean, I wanted to be a jockey, but that's a different story. But yeah, I'll work with animals. I always encourage them now, saying, look, do what you love. There's no point spending 40 years doing something that you don't love. Follow your dreams and do something that you want to wake up every day and go to. And just make sure that, like this little man here, they actually have they know their purpose and their destiny. And just to impact the next, make sure they follow, and of course, giving them a good Bible to read. So yeah, get to learn. So yeah.
Love it, bro. Beautiful, beautiful. It's exciting. It's good. I love that some of you are living this already, and others are thinking through if this 6 months was more, why am I doing it right? And again, it's not about going from X to from A to Z straight away. It's the journey of transition. And as we transition out of one thing, we transition into the other. We live out of that place of contentment. Beautiful, beautiful to say. Is there anyone else who wants to share before we finish? Because I want to give everyone an opportunity. If you feel like I just really wanted to add something to this, so I wanted to give my answer, so I'm accountable, or just want to think through as I speak it out, whether that's making sense to me. Anyone else? Feel free to unmute and share. Mercy, good to see you on from Myanmar. Can't wait to see what God is continuing to do through your imagination in Myanmar, with these beautiful children that you're taking care of and homeschooling.
Thank you, teacher. Good to see you too.
And I'm very proud of you for what you're doing in Myanmar with the homeschooling. Well done. Look at all these beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, can you try it? Don't be so sorry.
Oh. Look at them. They all look great. Imagination. Not let anything stop her. Yeah. What a joy. What a blessing. Mercy, turn the camera the other way, and I'm just going to spotlight you so you get to see. We get to see what amazing. Look at that. Wow. Look at these amazing kids. What a blessing. What a blessing. Yeah.
Great to see you.
Yes. We are very proud of you. We're seeing what you're doing and beautiful, beautiful. Awesome, guys. Thank you for sharing your home, Mercy, with the families, and these little kids are going to grow up as adults and imagine what they're going to do in turn, right? So, guys, let's call it a session, and thank you.
Hey, Ruben.
Yes, sir.
Just before you go, it's little Scarlett's 5th birthday.
Awesome. Hello, Scarlett.
Say hi, Scarlett.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Love you.
Happy birthday.
And is it Ruth's birthday? I heard you say as well.
How old are you? 5? Sorry, Ruben.
Is it Ruthie's birthday as well?
Yeah, it's Ruth's birthday.
Beautiful. Please say happy birthday to her from us as well.
I don't know where. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Ruth. How are you?
Happy birthday. If you had 6 months to live, what would you do, Ruth? Come spend.
Say that again.
If you had 6 months to live, come spend more time with us.
Oh, yes, I would.
What's stopping you from doing it now?
That was a trick question.
Hey, Yuri. Right into that. That was Yuri, anything you want to share, bro?
Yeah, my ones haven't changed. I love to travel, set the captives free. The things I'll continue to do now is just continue my prayer, meditation, visualization, imagination. So I really resonated with everything you're saying. Fantastic sharing, bro. Fantastic. I love it. If we could, I wish I'd known this stuff 20, 30 years ago, honestly. It would have changed my life. When you understand the power of imagination, of your thoughts, and your thoughts determine your feelings determine your energy, your vibration, and what you put out is what you receive. So it's just real powerful stuff. So well done. What else would I do? I would go, set the captives free, spirit, soul, body. Spend time with family. Plenty have said that, and like Ross said, put my affairs in order as well. So, yeah.
Beautiful. So start looking at what you can do and do it. And if you're going to come to India with us, hey, that's a good starting of setting the captives free. And I want you guys to imagine when you say set the captives free, what does it mean? You know, what does that look like? Start to imagine that even more detail. And I also wrote, I don't know if you saw what I wrote there about when you talked about your little boy. He's like, hey, what does it look like when I'm connected with him? You know,
What does it look like when I'm connected with him? Is that what you said?
so, you know, not just connecting, but is he going to be comfortable? Is it going to be what the values are going to pass down to him? Am I going to pass information to him? Am I going to, you know, just have fun with him? So imagining all those things.
Yeah, amen. Amen. Good.
Even his destiny, speaking into destiny, purpose, and amazing.
Yeah. I do that. I imagine all of that, but it's good. About what did you say about passing on values? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's good.
Awesome, bro. Thank you. Now, next time I want to see you in dressed up in a tie and shirt and in front of the computer, and you're gonna share some stuff on screen with us as well, Yuri. Because you know when you add this, it brings up good value.
Awesome. Okay.
Next Monday. Yeah. Pass it to you.
Hallelujah.
As we finish off, thank you, M, for hosting, and thank you for getting Hyacinth on and Margaret to do some testimony. That was, and I love your hair. Who loves M's hair?
Looks amazing.
Triple 13 because I want to see what Uriel is going to do with triple 13. How is he going to do it with his hands?
Thank you, Rueben. Thank you for this great message and an opportunity to have that open communication on what we would like to do within the next 6 months. I'm so grateful for this family. Yes, it is a kingdom family. We are based on our faith, and also just to be able to set a principle on of our identity and also where we come from and whose we are and what is our purpose and our calling. So this is the reason why we do this session, to get to know who we are and to be able to relate with each other in leadership and also in health. It doesn't, money is not the issue here. It's about our purpose and our calling. So I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming on. We do start at 7:30. So if you have anyone that you'd like to invite next week, because Emmanuel will be hosting, if he hears this one, Emmanuel will be hosting, and also we have a guest speaker called Papa Luke will be going on next week. So be here 7:30 Melbourne time. If you in other nations, please let anyone know it's 1 hour early because we are finishing off daylight saving, what we already have. But I just want to say thank you and I appreciate you and all the best. Hyacinth, over to you. You can end it.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I want to thank you all for taking your time and being here to just, listen to this amazing information. And remember, guys, don't just take a screenshot and save it. Remember to go back into it because this might, help you again. So go and look at it again, and hopefully you guys had an amazing time. And thank you so much, Daddy, for sharing this amazing information. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Hopefully next time when you come, please invite, because there's always someone out there looking for more information, wants to know more about wealth creation, and not just wealth creation. It is a family that stays together, grows together, and changes the world together. And that's what we're here to do. And thank you so much, everyone. And yeah, everyone have an awesome night. Bye-bye.
You
See
later.
you, Tony.
See everyone.
That's fun. See you, Brandon. Good to see you guys on. See you, Ruth. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ruth.
You're really old.